Hello guys, welcome to CoderCrab. So we had a foundation of Angular course earlier. So now we would be going towards the Angular functional, like how you can utilize Angular in your project. And after the foundation, I don't think you would be having trouble in creating an Angular project. Simple ng project you can create, or if you don't have those tips handy, you can go and watch my first video, Angular setup and installation, those things. Then all the required things are there. So for a project setup, so here I have cleaned everything, and it's a new project I have put. So it's a default setup you are seeing. By default, Angular provides all these things. So just go to first you open the index. So this is the index I have opened. It is very clearly there would be one Angular tag you will see, app root. It is not a default HTML tag. It's a component tag which Angular defines, and you can go to the app component here inside app, inside src, inside app. You will see this app HTML. This is the HTML which you are seeing, and it you can see that particular template, particular Angular tag here, right? So you can change it here if you want to change it. If you want to create your own component, we'll see that anyways. So let's clean it up. So what we'll do is we'll clear the whole thing. Okay, so once it is cleared, you can see there is nothing here. So let's put a simple section here. I'll just put a simple section, and inside this section, let's say I'm putting 3 simple divs. Okay, so this is div 1, div 2, div 3. Okay, so let's style the CSS very simply. Section display flex direction column, let's say, and width. Okay, so we have some simple content here, right? So let's see this contents if I want to. So this first div and second div and third div, right? So these are the contents which you have, and what we want to do is we want to put this value dynamically. Okay, so let's go to Okay, here we'll open the app component.ts, and here this is the TS file which where you will have all your JavaScript functionalities and everything you are going to change, right? So let's see. Let's say some dynamic value as the sense we have three dynamic values. The first variable is first div, let's say. So I'll just put first div string and type it. This is, let's say, first div content. Okay. Similarly, I'll be putting second div, third div. Second div content. This is third div content. Third div content. Okay. Now this three value we can interpol inside the HTML. So let's put it here. So to interpol, we need to put two curly braces and the variable name. Okay. This is second. This is third. Third. This is second. Okay. So let's see. Okay. Whatever is the value we are having here, same value is coming. So if you want to add something, let's say I have some apples. Okay. You can see that is reflecting here. Okay. Immediately change request is running and you are getting these things. So this is how you will have your data inside this. So now one thing, this also maintains security. How we will ensure that? Let's say you are somebody is putting script tag in it. Script, and somebody, let's just simulate with some fake data. Okay. See, that is being escaped and it is becoming a simple string and getting interpoled. So this is how we can interpol strings to our view from data to our view easily. Okay. So now as this is simple variable, this is okay. So let's say you have an object. Okay. So if you have an object, in the sense, let's say we have some object saying that data, and in this data object we have, let's say, content and content 2, then content 3. Okay, let's say this is content 1, content 2, content 3, and we have here first content, second content, content, and here third content. Okay, so now if I want to print this content in here, you can easily put data dot, you can easily put this content, you can use content 2 similarly. Okay, content 1, content 2, content 3. See, similarly, it can also render variable values inside an object. So key value also it can pull the key value. So that's all about interpolation in Angular. Now, if you want to send some data, let's say I'll be putting one let's say this first component content, right? In the first content, I will put one simple HTML here. Let's say I'll be putting one HTML input type text, and here I'll be putting I'll be pulling some value to it. Okay, let's say I want to show the content, data content one, right? So this content I want to show here. So what I'll do is I'll put value equals to data dot content one. If I'll do this particular value, because there's nothing, right? The value you are putting, and how it would know that this data dot content is a object? It won't know it, so it will print directly. So what we will to do? We have to put a bracket around it. Once you'll put a bracket around it, it will pull the data, right? Okay. Now, how would I how would I change this value? How would I put this value? Whatever I'll change. So let's say I'll put some value here. The same would be changing here also, right? So to do that, what I have to do is I'll use a event. So let's say key up event. Key up. So this is our event, and I'll be calling a function name. Key up function. So this is the function calling is happening here, right? So this is the event name. Let's say you want to do something on click, you will use click, key up, whatever you want to do. That particular event name you have to put inside this, like this, inside a bracket, and then you have to put the function name. So let's say I'll put this function name here, and this function name, let's say I have to create inside here. So here inside this component, I have to create the function. So what I'll do is I'll put the function name, then this. Okay. So here, let's say I'm changing the data dot content one, right? So data dot content one. So this dot data dot content one equals to, I'll put changed data one. Okay. So let's say I'll put here anything, you will see changed data one. Now the challenge is whatever I'm putting here, right, that should be coming. Now we've hard coded it anyways, right? So how would I do that? Let's go to the HTML. So here to do this, I have to pass this value, right? So there is a two-way binding that we'll see in later. It will come to it. But even if we don't use two-way binding, what we can utilize is we can utilize a template reference. So what is template reference? We'll see details about template reference. Now we'll see how we can utilize template reference for easy use cases like this, right? So let's put a template reference here. I'll just put input dt. Okay. So this input dt is a template reference. Now this will hold the current object value. So let's put the template reference dot value here. Okay. Now I'll go back to this function. This function I need to make changes. It doesn't have a parameter. That's why you are seeing the error. So I'll just put updated value. Okay. So let's see this updated value here. This is a string. Okay. This updated value I'll put here. Okay. Let's change it. I will just change. You see, whatever I am doing, it is immediately. So no values, nothing is there. So let's put value. See how fast it is, right? I'll delete, it will be deleting. So this is how you should be doing it. I hope this is clear. And the code would be there in the GitHub, and the link would be in description.